Steps. The hollow sound of heels echoing among endless shelves. A girl named Iris strolls through the store, contemplating a wonderful feeling. Imagine living without goals or ambitions, and suddenly, everything changes. You embrace it fully. She had felt this only twice. The first time when she met Josh, and the second when she killed him. It was a dream, for the girl and her boyfriend were on their way to a countryside house to meet Josh's friends. They are greeted by a girl named Kat, and soon after, we meet Patrick, a drunk Eli, and the house owner, Sergey. He also bought the land around the lake to completely isolate himself from people. He tells Iris he has heard a lot about her. The girl tries to guess that it's all good things, but the man only bites his lip. As she unpacks, our attention is drawn to a flash drive. She then goes to take a shower and later joins everyone at the table. Patrick shares how he met Eli and how they immediately knew they were meant for each other. Iris is so moved by the story that Sergey has to lighten the mood. That same evening, in a conversation between Patrick and Sergey, Sergey admits that he made his fortune long ago, staining his hands up to the elbows. It was a very dark business. Iris learns from Kat that she is essentially just an accessory to Sergey, doing everything he desires, yet he still has a wife. Iris bluntly asks why Kat doesn't like her. Kat explains that she is afraid of being easily replaced. Later that night, the group dances, but Iris can't take her eyes off Josh, who is talking with Kat. So she takes her man away and ends the evening beautifully with him. In the morning, she asks if he will go to the lake with her. Instead, he subtly slips something into her pocket and asks her to go alone. His hangover won today. But as soon as she leaves, he inserts that same flash drive into his phone. Iris finds a knife in her pocket but is quickly approached by Sergey, who chats with her pleasantly. When she tries to leave, he persuades her to stay. Then, after asking her to rub sunscreen on his back, he starts making advances against her will. Meanwhile, the group drinks peacefully until Iris appears, visibly shaken. Kat instantly realizes what happened and runs to her lover. Josh tries to get Iris to talk. She tells him she had no choice. When Sergey was choking her, she could only think of Josh. She didn't want that Russian bastard to take her away. As she was stabbing him, she dreamed of seeing her beloved again. But Josh immediately tells her to go to sleep. Patrick ties her up while Josh explains that she is not superhuman. She is about as strong as an average person. When Eli returns with the news that Kat has been knocked out with 2 Xanax pills, they discuss how this could have happened. Josh believes it was just a glitch. The group decides to call the police, but Josh asks for a moment to say goodbye. When he wakes Iris up, he bluntly tells her she is a robot, something she initially doesn't grasp. But he proves it using his phone, switching her language settings, and explaining that all her memories are just drafts. The place where they met was simply a location he chose upon purchase. Iris is a robot designed for emotional support and sex. She was just delivered to his apartment, where he signed the user agreement, established a romantic connection by scanning his face, and uploaded the data of their first meeting. Then he used her for his needs. When Kat arrives and asks him to turn off the robot, he leaves with her to explain. Meanwhile, Iris notices the knife and tries to reach it. Josh returns too late. She stabs him in the throat, grabs the smartphone, and asks Kat to bring him ice before he suffocates. Then she escapes, right under the noses of the guys who are reporting the incident to the police. When Josh regains consciousness, he shows the group the flash drive. With it, he hacked his companion, increased its aggression, and removed the safety protocols against harming humans and animals. If he doesn't reset her code before the police arrive and they detect the hack, they are all doomed. Kat decides to open Sergey's secret safe, whose code is Stalin's birthday. Inside, they find $12 million and a gun. Eli enjoys the smell of money, while Josh confesses that he and Kat invited the guys for alibi purposes. They specifically brought Iris here to kill Sergey. Josh suggests splitting the money 3 ways, but Eli wants to include Patrick. During the argument, they discover that Patrick is also a companion, so Eli deactivates him and fights with Josh. Josh admits that he planted the knife and orchestrated the murder for the first time, so the cut should be split only 3 ways. Companions don't count. Kat persuades Eli, And he agrees, but he keeps the gun. By then, Iris has already escaped far away and is trying to access her system settings. When Josh realizes she might succeed, he starts to fear. Iris has already tested her eye color and voice-changing features and found her intelligence settings, which she immediately boosts from 40 to 100. A revelation strikes her. She instantly calculates all possible outcomes and decides the best option is to take Josh's car and drive to the city while they search for her in the forest. On the way, she encounters Eli and Patrick, who don't notice her as they discuss personal matters. Patrick suddenly realizes he is a robot, and his first meeting with Eli was an illusion. Eli is forced to confess. Suddenly, they hear vibrations, and Iris starts running. Eli hits her with his car but loses his gun. Iris shoots him in the chest, apologizes to Patrick, and realizes Josh's voice commands no longer work. She manages to jump into the car at the last moment, but it doesn't recognize her voice. After trial and error, she replicates Josh's voice, and the car starts. Josh rushes to the house and grabs Sergei's phone. It's locked with Stalin's birthday again. The car's system locks everything. Its owner reported a theft. Josh immediately calls his companion, but she ignores him and leaves him behind. Enraged, he reprograms Patrick to 100% aggression, bonds him to himself, and orders him to knock out Iris and bring her back. A local officer spots Iris and stops her. She switches to German and tells him the truth, but he doesn't understand. When he sees the knife in her car, he moves to arrest her, but Patrick appears, kills the officer, and deactivates Iris. A police car arrives at the house, scaring the group, but it turns out to be Patrick. However, besides Iris, he also brought the officer's body. Kat immediately grabs her share and decides to leave, disgusted by all the killings. When Josh can't stop her himself, he orders Patrick, who stabs her without hesitation. She dies next to Iris. Josh holds a feast, during which Iris calls him a pathetic loser, insulting every aspect of his life. Furious, he lowers her intelligence to 0 and tests if she feels pain by setting her hand on fire. Distracted by a call, he returns too late. Her hand is almost entirely burned. Patrick extinguishes it and hands her a gun, following Josh's command to make her shoot herself. When experts arrive, they can't connect to her system and recognize Officer Hendrickson's face. Hearing that they will recover eye-recorded footage stored in the stomach, Josh panics. The chief engineer realizes Josh hacked the robot, but it's too late. Patrick kills the first expert. As the second one stumbles upon a pile of corpses, his gun runs out of bullets, so Patrick strangles him. Meanwhile, Iris revives and tastes Patrick, but he quickly overpowers her and listens as she explains love, the painful feeling that Josh simply replaced Eli with himself to control Patrick. Unable to cope, Patrick electrocutes himself. The engineer survives. As Josh gathers money, Iris sneaks into the house. She declares that the engineer programmed her for full control and that she's ready to shoot Josh. He doesn't believe she can and beats her, demanding she admit he is everything to her. Just as he's about to destroy her core, she tells him to sleep and slices his temple. She reflects on her empty existence, changed twice. Once when she met Josh, and once when she killed him. On the road, she meets her clone and waves with her now real hand. If you enjoyed this recap, support the channel with a like and subscription. Thanks for watching. Hope you never make your loved ones burn their hands. Bye.